Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. So, we're gonna decode something pretty amazing today. I mean, have you ever looked at Japan and just thought, how do they do it? How is their society so impeccably clean, so hyper-organized, and just incredibly focused? Especially when, honestly, the rest of the world feels like it's absolutely drowning in constant stress, distraction, and anxiety, right? But the Japanese? They seem to possess this profound, quiet discipline. Well, today we are breaking down 8 seemingly invisible tiny Japanese habits that literally transform lives. We're going to look really closely at these everyday practices and figure out exactly how you can use them in your own life. Let's get into it.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the secret to Japanese longevity, then move into purpose and continuous progress. After that, we'll cover healing the body and mind, explore resilience, compassion, and imperfection, and finally, wrap things up with a really practical 7-day challenge.
All right, part 1, the secret to Japanese longevity.
So, think about our normal, modern routines for a second. We are always rushing, always scrolling, and constantly stressed out. But then you look at Japan, a culture defined by meticulously clean streets, organized schools, and workplaces where people are just super focused. It begs the question, why are the Japanese so healthy and focused when the rest of us are struggling so much with distraction? Is this just something innate in their biology? Is it just, cultural luck? Or are we completely missing a much bigger picture about how we should actually design our days?
It's really easy to look at a highly functional society like that and just make up excuses for why we can't do the same. We assume, it's just their genetics, or we tell ourselves they're naturally smarter, or maybe they just have some hidden secret formula locked in a vault somewhere. But honestly, the research completely throws those myths out the window. There is no magical luck happening here, and there's no special innate talent at play.
The real secret actually comes down to tiny, almost invisible daily habits. We're talking about actions so ordinary, so small, that most people wouldn't even notice them happening in real time. But here's the real kicker. When you stack these simple, everyday habits over years and years, they completely alter your health, your mindset, your discipline, and ultimately the entire trajectory of your life.
Moving right along to part 2, purpose and continuous progress. Okay, so how do we actually approach our daily goals? And more importantly, what's going through our heads the second we wake up in the morning? Our very first habit is Kaizen. By definition, Kaizen is the philosophy of becoming a little better every day. Now, almost all of us want to improve our lives, right? But our biggest mistake is usually trying to overhaul our entire existence overnight. We tell ourselves, okay, tomorrow I'm hitting the gym for 2 hours, eating a flawless diet, meditating, and waking up at 5 a.m. And then, what happens? Within days, we completely burn out. Well, Kaizen prevents that burnout by asking you to just improve slightly, nothing more.
The difference here is pretty striking. The modern mistake is trying to change everything in a single day, whereas the Japanese approach is just aiming to get 1% better every day. You've probably heard of the company Toyota. Well, they achieved massive worldwide success using this exact method. They didn't rewrite their whole system in a day. Instead, they asked, hey, if a task takes 10 seconds, how can we shave it down to 9 seconds? If you want to build a reading habit, don't aim for 20 pages. Just start with 2. If you want to start exercising, skip the grueling hour-long routine and literally just start with 5 minutes. It never overwhelms you, which makes it so much easier to actually stick with long-term.
Habit number 2 is Ikigai. Let me pose a question to you. If your work or your school were completely canceled tomorrow, what would be your actual reason to get out of bed? In Japan, Ikigai is that reason. It's that thing that gives you excitement from the inside out. Just look at Okinawa. It's a region famous for its incredible longevity. The elderly folks there, they don't just survive, they live with deep, deep purpose. Some garden, some teach kids, some do community service. Ikigai isn't just basic motivation. It is a totally different kind of energy that gives your life real direction. If you can find that one task where you completely lose track of time while you're doing it, you've found your Ikigai.
Let's jump to part 3, healing the body and mind.
So we've covered purpose, but how do the Japanese manage physical health and handle that intense digital age stress we all know so well? Well, it starts with our third habit, Hara Hachibu. This is an absolutely crucial principle for your physical health. It's basically the practice of mindful eating, where you intentionally stop eating before you are totally full. In the modern world, we eat way too fast, and we eat until we are just completely stuffed, like to the point where you don't even want to get off the couch afterwards. But the Japanese approach, it's about eating really slowly and deeply enjoying every single taste.
And 80% is really the magic number here. Hara Hachibu teaches us to put down the fork when our stomachs hit that 80% capacity mark. Just taking a tiny pause during a meal gives you the space to ask yourself, wait, am I actually still hungry for more, or am I just eating out of habit? That little pause prevents overeating, it leads to way better digestion, and it just takes so much unnecessary pressure off your body.
Now, when it comes to mental health, we have our fourth habit, Shinrin Yoku. This is often translated as forest bathing. Let me ask you, when you feel stressed out during the day, what's your immediate instinct? You probably whip out your phone and start doom scrolling through Instagram or YouTube Reels, right? But think about it. Even after half an hour of scrolling, your stress hasn't gone away. If anything, your anxiety is probably spiked. Shinrin Yoku uses nature itself as the ultimate medicine. It's about spending time outdoors mindfully, and this is the most important part, completely without digital distractions.
And hey, the best part is you don't have to pack up and travel to a remote, deep forest to do this. A local park in your neighborhood works perfectly. The steps are super simple. Step 1, keep your phone in your pocket. Seriously, don't look at it. Step 2, take a leisurely, slow walk in the park. And step 3, actually look at the trees around you, feel the breeze, and just listen to the birds. Doctors in Japan literally prescribe this because it naturally reduces stress. Healing your overwhelmed mind really doesn't have to be complicated.
All right, part 4, resilience, compassion, and imperfection.
This brings us to how we deal with the adversity life inevitably throws at us, how we view our own personal flaws, and how we treat the people around us. Our fifth habit is this gorgeous philosophy called wabi-sabi. This is the art of finding beauty hidden in imperfect things. It basically teaches us that nothing in the world is genuinely perfect, and that true beauty actually exists within those flaws. Think about an old, worn wooden table, or a battered diary, or the deep wrinkles on someone's face. Wabi-sabi says these aren't flaws you should hide. They are beautiful stories of life.
You can really see the stark contrast in our approaches here. I mean, social media culture is constantly screaming at us to be perfect, look perfect, and project this totally flawless life. And honestly, it's just an exhausting race. Wabi-sabi, on the other hand, gives you permission to step completely away from that exhausting race. It teaches us to just accept ourselves and our lives exactly as they are right now. So instead of endlessly chasing some hollow aesthetic perfection, we should focus solely on our pure, continuous progress.
Next up is our sixth habit, Hiraman. Look, everybody faces problems, but the real difference lies in how we react to them. Hiraman is all about handling difficult situations with complete dignity and patience. Now, I want to be really clear about this. This does not mean suppressing your true emotions, and it definitely doesn't mean ignoring your pain. What it means is making sure your pain doesn't morph into your entire identity. When things get incredibly tough, you choose the right action instead of just constantly complaining. You choose patience over full-blown panic. This really is the bedrock of solid mental strength.
Habit number 7 is omotenashi. This is the exact mindset that's responsible for Japan's unbelievable public cleanliness and their incredible discipline. Omotenashi means taking complete care of the comfort of others without expecting a single reward or praise or appreciation in return. It's exactly why people in Japan keep their voices low in public, why they maintain highly disciplined lines, and why they never just toss trash aimlessly. They deeply understand that their smallest everyday actions have a direct impact on everyone else around them. Just imagine leaving every space you visit just a little bit better than you found it.
And that brings us to the 8th habit, which honestly might be the most beautiful metaphor of the whole bunch, kintsugi. In Japan, when a gorgeous piece of pottery breaks, they don't just toss it away. Instead, they lovingly repair it by filling the cracks with real gold. They aren't trying to hide the damage, they intentionally make those cracks more prominent. Why? Because those golden veins tell an incredible story of survival. We spend so much of our lives trying to hide our failures, our mistakes, and our emotional scars. But kintsugi teaches us that these aren't weaknesses at all.
There is such a profound takeaway here. The one who has been broken and rebuilt is truly the strongest. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. A person who has never fallen has probably never learned how to get back up. Breaking down is absolutely not the end of your story. It's actually the ultimate proof of your growth. When you rebuild yourself, just like that broken pottery repaired with gold, your scars become your absolute greatest strengths.
And finally, part 5, the 7-day challenge. Okay, we all know that knowledge without action is basically just trivia, right? So let's do a super quick recap of our 8 pillars so you can see what you can actually apply today. We've got Kaizen for that 1% daily improvement, Ikigai for finding your life's true purpose, Hara Hachibu for eating mindfully, Shinrin Yoku for healing your mind through nature,
Wabi Sabi to help you embrace your imperfections, Kairman for dignified resilience, Omotenashi for selfless compassion, and Kintsugi to wear your rebuilt scars with immense pride. Guys, these aren't just overnight viral life hacks. These are solid, time-tested foundations for a truly good life.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question. If you had to pick just one of these habits, only one, to consciously try out over the next 7 days, which one would you choose? Think back to the rule of Kaizen. You don't need to completely change your whole life today. Massive, life-altering success always starts with just one tiny, invisible daily habit. Pick one, stick with it for a single week, and just watch how it transforms your perspective. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you guys next time.